The marking knife. The first step in our marking knife is to open a couple of parts. So what I want you to do is to make sure that on your memory stick or on a CD that you have all the various parts from CAD Module 3 saved. So what you'll do is you'll go to File, Open, and this time I'm going to look in the CD drive because I have them on a CD. If not, you look for them on your memory stick. So CAD Module 3, open it up, and what you're going to do is you're going to move along to exercise 12, which is the marking knife. So you'll go to exercise 12 and you'll hit open. So I'm just waiting for that to open. Sorry, I just have to open. So we'll just go back again. So File, Open, exercise 12, and this time when what you're going to open is you're going to open all the parts. Now there's three parts to this marking knife, and what I want you to do is first is I want you to look at the file extensions. SLD DRW. What the DRW means there is it's a drawing. Now SLD is SolidWorks, DRW is drawing. Again, SLD PRT, this will be a part, and it says blade.part. So first thing is we'll open the blade and we'll hit open, and it's saying that it's read only, so yes. Now our next thing is go File and Open, and we'll open the handle and we'll hit OK. Now the handle is that piece, and the final thing is we'll go File and Open, and we'll open the rabbit. So there's the rabbit. Now what we've done is we've all our three parts open. Our next job is up here is it icon make assembly from part or assembly. That's going to lead forward to our assembly. Now if you have a look carefully at the icon, you can see it's got the icon of a part and a little cube stuck onto it, meaning that they're stuck together. Alternatively, you can go to File and make assembly from part, or you can go New, and instead of choosing part you can choose assembly. So I'm going to go make assembly from part. So this time here it's asking us, this is the very first screen you open up with is an assembly, and down here is it's going to ask us to insert our first component. Now the first component we're going to insert is our blade, so we'll click on the blade, and you can just come out here and click anywhere and it drops in the blade. Now if you just notice up here for 1 second, in front of the word blade it has got F written in front of it. Now this F stands for fixed, meaning that this I component is fixed in place, i.e. it being almost an origin for every other piece. Now this is one component in. Our next step here is to insert another component. So we'll insert component, and this time we'll choose handle. Now you just choose handle, you'll pull your mouse out into the graphics area, and out in the graphics area just in a bit of free space click and you can drop the handle. Now our next little job is we need to start sticking all of this together. So mate is the key for this, so you push down on mate and you select one surface here, and you select on one component and you select the surface that's going to be mated to that. So it'll be the underside of the handle and the top of the blade. Now that means that the handle can slide along on that surface there. Our next side we want to select is this side here and this edge of the blade, and we're going to make sure that the two of them are in line. Now that still means that the blade can move up and down this way, and our last step then is maybe to select this surface here and this surface here, and they're automatically going to be made coincident. So by coincidence it's putting them in line, they're joined together. So we'll tick OK. So that's half of our marking knife together. So we can tick mate and exit it. Now we can go back to insert component, and this time we'll pick handle, and we'll come out and we'll just drop our handle there. Now when we go to mate our handle, it will do it the exact same way. We'll come across a problem. That's what's going to happen, and it means then that our surfaces won't stick together. So what we'll do is we'll cancel that mate for 1 second, and over here is rotate component. So by pushing down on that, what you can do is if you click on one component you can twist it around and keep twisting it until you're happy with where you want it in place. So we'll be alright there. And then what we'll do is, once we're finished with rotate component, tick OK, go back into mate, we'll select that surface and we'll select the surface that it's going to be stuck to. And now it is lined up with it, and once we're happy with it, tick OK. We'll repeat the same thing again with the sides, that side and that side, and we can tick OK, and then it can move up and down like that, and just tick OK. Now our next little step is to select this surface here and mate it to this surface here. Now we have our handle stuck onto our marking knife. Now we'll just tick OK. Now our next step is to place in our two rivets. So what we'll do is we'll go back to insert component and we'll pick Revit this time. Now we're going to do something slightly different here with Revit. We're going to push down the push pin here, and the push pin there has a function of it keeps items visible, so it helps us to drop in a couple of items together. So we'll come out, just click once and it drops for us a Revit, and if we click again it keeps it visible, it drops two Revits, and when we have two in we'll tick OK. Now with two Revits in, our next job is to start mating them. So we'll open up our mate and we'll select the first surface. So what I want you to do is I want you to select the shank of the Revit, and then what I want you to do is to zoom in and select the hole where it's going to go into. So maybe the side of the hole there. Now what you can see over here is that it's going to be concentric, it's there and there, which means that it has the same center and it can move through it. So that's moving through that cannot move out of that position, so that's okay. Now to stop it from sliding, we'll select this surface and this top surface of the Revit and the surface of the marking handle, and what it does is it puts the two of them flush, and now we can't move. And we'll repeat the same thing with the other Revit, and that's in line. Tick OK. We'll select the top surface and the top surface of the marking knife, and hey presto, none of the parts can move and it's fully defined. Now it's worth noting now that because the Revits have only two mates compared to the other ones, the Revit can still turn around inside the hole, but we're not really worried about that. When you're done, you go File, close your mates, File, Save As, and this time what you'll do is you'll save it to your location wherever you have. So what you'll do is, maybe I'll save mine on my desktop here, and I'll just call it marking knife and hit save. Now it's worth noting here is saving it as an assembly, an ASM file, or an SLDASM, an assembly. Now if we click the drop down menu here, we have assembly templates, assembly, part, parasolid, and the main ones are part and assembly, e-drawings, etc. So once you have it picked as assembly, just hit save and you're done.